Hello, and welcome back to That Cartoon Podcast. This week,
Hello.
this week we watched Song of the Sea, the second in the Irish Folklore trilogy. Last one that we watched was the third, so we're doing a backwards watching of this trilogy.
Because we're so crazy.
Yeah, we're pretty wild, some would say.
Yeah.
Let's dive into it. Tease, what did you think? What did you think of this film?
Oh, I thought it was super weird. I mean, it was very racist. I didn't understand why there was a black man singing about Civil War. Um, it's just like I was not expecting a movie about Irish folklore to have a character named Uncle Remus. Like it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and the whole zippity doo song, I
Didn't
out
know
of
that's where this
nowhere,
came from.
out of left field
Yeah.
for this
But I don't it's
animation
it's
company.
crazy that you suggested this and you were like, this is a great movie and it teaches a lot of good lessons.
You know,
Oh, why you said that.
fun story about that actual story. Uncle Remus and his short stories. You
Yeah.
know, that videotape was like banned from the US.
Mm-hmm.
But before it was banned, my dad grew up with that, not knowing the racist contents, and so like he has a copy of it like in his storage.
in his secret files.
Yeah, secret files.
Obviously, guys, we're talking about Song of the South.
Yeah,
That's not what we watched today, but that
that's
is
no,
it was too good
no.
of a joke for me to pass up. Don't watch it. It's a bad movie. And you know what? Fuck you, Disney, for making it.
Yeah, fuck you. No, we watched Song of the Sea.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. I think I said that to you earlier. It's a really good movie. I think I liked this more than Wolf
Wolfwalker.
Walkers. I think that's what the other one was called, right? Yeah, I like this more than that one.
I did too.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. It felt like it had so much heart to it. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Let's just dive into the story. It's yeah, actually, TJ, I usually do the describing. Why don't you describe it?
So it starts off in like a lighthouse, and there's a mom telling her son like a bedtime story, and he's just like, I can't wait for the baby to get here. She's pregnant. Um, but then something happens, and it jumps forward. Um, I think what 6 years or something jumps forward 6 years, and it's just the boy who's now older, um, sitting next to his younger sister, like on a log. They're just on the beach, and he's just supposed to be taking care of her, but it's very obvious that he does not want to be. He doesn't like her, and it's pretty apparent that whatever happened that night 6 years ago, like mom's either not around anymore or like dead. So she's gone for some reason, and this little boy is bitter and blames his sister
Yeah,
and is like
he's
taking it out on her.
resentful. He's
Yeah.
very resentful.
So she doesn't talk. That's made very apparent. But for whatever reason, she's drawn to the sea. But at the same time, if I was a 6 year old on a beach and there was a bunch of like seals just like staring at me, being super cute, I'd probably also start walking into the sea.
Yeah,
Um,
that a little thing that happens every time she's around, a bunch of seals just appear, and she's like, "Oh, hell yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with those seals."
yeah, she has no idea what's going on with the seals, but she walks over there and they have this big dog.
Cool.
I recognize, yeah, his name's Koo. I recognize the kind of dog, but I have no idea what they're called. Um, you know what those kind of dogs are? It's
It's
like
like a
a
sheepdog or something. An Irish
maybe.
sheepdog, actually. I think that's what they're
Is it
called.
actually though? It's a big dog, and he's the boy whose name I think is Ben.
Yeah, I think it's Ben.
His name's Ben. Hers name is Sersha.
Mm-hmm.
She's walking into the sea. He's like, "Hey, come back here. We're not allowed to go to the water. I said so. I'm in charge." She doesn't stop. Um, and then the dog basically is like goes to try to save her. He's connected to her. He's connected to the boy by one of those
A
leashes that
leash.
like retracts.
It's a
Yeah.
retractable leash.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm not going out there to get her. He's afraid of the water for some reason, gets dragged in there. And even though it's like high enough or low enough for her to walk in, he's like drowning basically because he's
Yeah,
freaking out.
he's struggling. And
Yeah.
I just want to say that Ku is the major driving force behind the main character Ben doing anything in this movie.
Yeah. Ben for a long time sucks.
Yeah.
Uh, he sucks a
Ku's
lot.
the hero.
Ku is the secret hero. Um, Saoirse also, I guess, but mostly Ku. Um, but what basically, they get back on land. He gets mad and holds her at gunpoint with a squirt gun and forces her to go back inside because he's going to tell his dad. Find out that it's her birthday. His dad's not. He's not all the way there. He's very um I want to say neglectful, but mostly like he's like in his own mind the whole time. And you come to find out when their grandma shows up that her birthday also the same day as his wife's disappearance. So he's just like, it's just not a good day for him.
Mm.
He goes out, leaves him with his mom. He goes out drinking with his buddies. Um,
This one
and the kid,
crazy fucking captain.
yeah, just his one friend. And he's not, and when I say go out drinking, he literally like gets a Guinness and just sits there with it for hours, not drinking it, just being sad.
Yeah.
Um, Kids sneak out. She finds a coat upstairs that looks like it's made of like baby seal skin.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like white baby sealskin.
yeah, puts it on, goes out into the water. She has this like they have this like conch. I don't, and that's not a conch though. Those like circle seashell
Yeah, it's like a spiraling
flutes.
seashell.
Yeah. And
And it has like holes in it. It's an instrument now.
yeah.
And it's like the last thing that the mother left for the son.
Yeah. Which also we'll get to that later, but this mom sucks.
Mom's off.
Mom's awful. Dirtbag mom, not want to be with her kids. Saoirse goes out into the water, has like fun with the seals. Everyone else is sleeping, and she magically turns into a baby little seal and is just living her life, doing seal stuff. Eventually, she like washes back up on shore after she's done and is just like napping on the water. And that's when grandma finds her, and grandma's just like pissed. She's like, you can't have kids up here. They need to go to the city. She forces them to go into the city because she's like, your daughter was just found washed up on shore. Like she could have died. They go out into the city, and Saoirse has no like she can't talk, so she has no like ability to say no. She doesn't say anything. She's just kind of along for the ride a lot of the time. Ben
Yeah.
hates it. They won't let him bring the dog.
Yeah, that's a major mystery in the movie that I was like, wow, they took a really long time explaining why she can't talk, because I was just like, well, like
It's a
why
dumb reason still.
it's yeah.
It's still stupid. It doesn't make sense, but it's fine.
It's folklore, it's folky.
I don't know. We'll get to what she actually is later, but like I don't know if that's like part of it, and maybe that's why she can't talk, but like they don't explain much in this movie.
They
Like
have
they don't
one
explain much about the folklore.
they have one passing line about it. Other than that, yeah,
Yeah.
they don't really explain. But yeah,
But
so
they're out on Halloween, like they're back home. Grandma puts them to bed because Saoirse's being a bad kid, and they sneak out because they're gonna make their way back home. Come across some fairies who are looking for Saoirse because after she started using that little seashell flute, all these little fairy like lightning bug thingies are showing up. So they're like, "Oh my god, it's the Selkie." We got the Selkie, so they're looking for her because I guess she's the only thing. Her magic is the only thing that can turn them from stone to normal fairies again or spirits. They find her, they're having a good time. They do a little song and dance number, but uh-oh, the owls of Gahul show up and
I was
Metal
thinking
Beat.
that too.
Yeah, I was watching, I was like, wow, two owl movies in a row. Crazy. Um they they burst through and they're trying to kidnap Cersei because the owls serve um what's her name, like Matcha or
Yeah,
Maca
yeah,
or something,
yeah. I think it's
who is
matcha.
this who's this owl witch, and she steals the feelings from all these like fairy people, and when she does that it turns them to stone. They don't explain why she's stealing people's feelings, but like very clear that she's the bad guy. um they go on a little adventure. They keep getting lost because Ben won't listen to Sersha, who's like, hey, I can use this magic flute to literally have fairies point us in the right direction, like when you're playing like a video game and there's that little like glowing trail. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she's literally creating that, and Ben's like, no, 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 I've got this shitty map. We're gonna use this shitty map. It's definitely a better idea for us to walk into the scariest forest in all of Ireland, like
Yeah,
this demon forest that they walk into.
rather than follow these fairies into a nice
Yeah,
gentle field.
yeah, and it's now firmly established that magic is real and that Sersha is the most important person like in the story. Ben still doesn't give a fuck. He's still a little dick the whole time.
The whole fucking time. And so then they're just wandering. And then and then Ben comes to the realization that, oh wait, if the fairies found us because we were playing the flute, then maybe the owls will find us because we're playing the flute. So then he starts being a real dick to Sersha about playing the flute,
Mm-hmm.
but he rightfully so. You don't want to attract too much attention. You just want to light your path enough.
Yeah, but he also doesn't know that. You know what I mean?
That's true. He is major assumption.
Yeah, he's just assuming. I don't know.
He's like, I don't know
Maybe, maybe
anything about
not.
magic. I've only been introduced for a couple of hours, but
Yeah,
this is how it works.
yeah. This is how it works, and now I'm in charge. We're going into the scary murder forest. Um, where they're not in there for long because Ku, the hero that we all need, shows up.
Oh
And
yeah, because when they were moving with the grandma to the city they were going away on the boat, and Coot just like breaks his chain and jumps into the sea and swims after the boat
yeah, and
and
just he's
follows
just
it.
fine.
And he's just like on their trail for a couple days, I guess, and then they've come
Yeah,
across him in the scary woods.
yeah, and the distance traveled between where Grandma lives in the city and the lighthouse, very ambiguous, because it seems like they get there within one day. Um, but at the same time, like if it's literally that close, you guys could have always just kind of lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
there's really no reason living in this shitty lighthouse, but
yeah,
whatever.
I think it's supposed to be far away. But like
Maybe.
yeah, it does make it seem like they traverse it very quickly on the back of a dog.
Yeah. And so, after Ku shows up, the plan is basically like, hey, um, he found his way here. We can now just have Ku take us back. He'll know the way back, which honestly the most solid plan that Ben's come up with this entire time.
Yeah, start relying on your main strength. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Start relying on your main strength, everybody else.
Every other character in the
um,
film.
yeah. Yeah. A lot of Ben slander in this movie, and I'm here for it. They get to like a magic well or a fountain or something. Um, Sersha is like just not having a good time. She's just getting weaker. She's coughing. Her hair is starting to turn white. And it's not explained why. She's just getting weak. She jumps into the fountain for some unknown reason, it's really weird because like this is also a child that seems to just know what she's doing now all of a sudden, which is a detriment to the story. I think it's just like why how does Saoirse just know what she's supposed to be doing
Are
now?
you calling her a Mary Sue, Teach?
I'm not calling her a Mary Sue because um the literally the opposite of what a Mary Sue would do happens because I mean at the end of the story a man still saves her.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
she still gets kidnapped.
Yeah,
Off
she
screen.
immediately gets kidnapped.
Off screen.
Yeah. Was that explained? What
Uh,
like
there
what
there was a vision that happened.
No, there definitely was because there was a vision because he ends up at like the hair seneschal, who's this guy from Irish folklore. He, like his hair, every one of his hairs uh contains within it like the story of one of the fairies. So they just find her hair because she's a Selkie, so she's one of the fairies. And they find out that she was kidnapped by the owls. But like, when did that happen between them diving into the fountain and her finding and him finding that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if the fountain's underground, what are these owls doing? Like hanging out in caves? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
In these
I
caverns.
it's one of those things where like if this was like a modern movie, like a live action, I would assume that they like deleted a scene. Like
Yeah, I don't know. That's a. I was wondering that during the film too, but I mean, it shows just like a quick scene of it, but it's just like, okay, I guess she's gone now.
I get yeah, I guess she was kid. I guess she was taken by the owls. Okay.
That's all the
Um
information they were trying to get across there.
yeah, got us here. Ben decides to go rescue her from the witch.
Now, this was the
Um
scariest point in the story because they all go like so when they go down this well first. She goes down the well, and then Ben's like, "I'm not going down that well. Fuck that." And then
yeah,
Koo once again drags him into the well, and
yeah.
then Koo's leash breaks and they get separated. And when Ben gets down there, there's no Koo. Scariest part of the film.
Oh yeah. And I assume that Ku was also kidnapped by the owls.
Yeah, he was. They had him there once they.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. Because I don't remember seeing him in the little like scene of them like taking Saoirse away. But Ku also ends up there. Stands to reason either A, also kidnapped, or B, Ku's just that fucking guy. He's having his own little adventure and he's saving people on on his own. I choose to believe that.
I would like to see the coup edit where it's just
Yeah.
his story of like trying to find them.
Yeah. He's got his own like internal monologue, but it's not English or anything. It's still just like woofs and barks.
Yeah. Dude,
Dramatic zoom into like Ku's face, and it's just like
wow, cinematic masterpiece.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Call me Hollywood. Um he gets to the witch who looks like exactly like his grandma.
Exactly, dude. I was like, it was looked so much like her that I started to be like, so is this a metaphor for like something with your family, like overcoming? I was like, I was trying to piece it together why it looked so much like his grandmother.
I for the longest time was like, oh my god, his grandma's the witch. That makes so much more sense. Why she's trying to get them away from the lighthouse and all this other bullshit. No,
Mhm.
she just just happens to look like his grand. It's I think they were just like, we know how to draw one type of old lady.
Very pointy nose.
Yeah, old lady, also owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thought process of the animation. But like we said earlier, she steals people's feelings and it turns them to stone.
And this is when we
He
find
comes to
out
find out.
why she was doing
Yeah,
it.
she was she is the mother of the giant McLear, who is this big character in Irish folklore who faced a big tragedy and he was just like crying so much that he was raising the sea level. That's how much he was crying. Um, and to keep him from, I guess, drowning and to keep him from being sad, she stole his feelings, which turned him to stone, and then decided she's just going to do that with everybody, because if they're not feeling bad, it's better. It like not feeling anything at all is better than feeling bad. And she basically is doing that to herself too. So there's like snippets every time she gets emotional. She like grabs a little jar, which is where they keep the feelings, and it just like sucks out all of her emotions. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry about that. What were we talking about?"
And she's like slowly turning herself to stone. So whenever she's moving
Yeah.
around, she's like clunking around. It's like boom, boom.
Oh. She has owls like lifting her. That's how she moves around.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously can't have that going on. That can't, that's not a good solution. So Ben once again does the smartest thing that he can think of. Listen to Koo, who is upstairs and barking. So he runs upstairs, finds out that Koo's in like the loft or whatever, gets in there. All the while he's being chased like very half-heartedly by this witch.
Very
She's not really putting in a
half-heartedly.
lot of effort.
And also, like when he's trying to get up through this trap door to the attic, or I think it's the attic.
Yeah.
That's Ku is sitting on the attic door, and that's the reason he can't. He's like
You can't open
struggling.
it. Yeah.
He's struggling, and it's because Ku is laying down on top of the door.
Yeah. And he's like, Koo, move. And then finally Koo does move. He gets up there. And that's where Saoirse is. She's trapped in there. She's also now half stone. But you find out that if Saoirse doesn't both get her coat back, the magic seal coat, and play the song, she's gonna die. That's why she's been getting sicker as the story has progressed. And now, like, if she stays here, she's definitely gonna die, because one, her feelings are gonna get stolen, she'll turn to stone, and she'll never make it back. So
I think around
Ben,
here, Matcha explains, like it's around here is the one line when she's like, yeah, a Selkie can't speak without their coat or without their magic
yeah,
seal jacket.
yeah, seal jacket. Yeah, like a throwaway line. I don't know if that's based in Irish folklore. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's just weird little thing. But she's now the only thing that Ben can think of is, well, she seems to freak out every time she has emotions. What if I break all of her like stored emotion jars up here, or feelings jars up here? Maybe she'll start like finally listening to reason, because he's trying to get her help. He realizes that like the only way he's going to get anywhere is if Matcha the witch helps them get back. All the little jars are enchanted, can't break them. But then he remembers, oh wait, back when they were with the other fairies, when Saoirse played the flute thingy, it broke the jars. So let's try that again. She's super weak though. Can't do it. He gives her a pep talk, and then she's able to do it, and the jars just start breaking one by one. The witch gets super sad, starts like sobbing because she's feeling
angry, happy.
Yeah.
She's like just a whole range.
Yeah. She finally comes to like peace with her emotions, I guess. Like she's finally allowing herself to grieve, and she decides to help them. She gives them like magic. I don't know what they are in Irish folklore, but they look like, I think they're called like hippocampi or something. In Greek mythology, they're like horse mermaids.
I think they were supposed to be like the hunting dogs of the giant.
Oh, maybe.
Because
Yeah.
I think it was her son's dogs.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it said it. The only reason I'm thinking that is because at the very end, when everyone's walking away, the dogs are walking in stride with the giant. And
yeah.
It's
maybe,
about the right proportion.
That makes more sense. Because I was looking, I was like, oh, that's kind of like horse mermaids. That kind of came out of nowhere. Cool. But them being his dogs makes way more sense.
And then Ku, he wraps it all up to save the day one more time. because these magic hunting dogs, they like possess him, I guess, and they ride Ku, who rides these magic dogs
Yeah.
all the way to the location that they need to be at to find their
Back to yeah,
back to the
back to the
lighthouse.
lighthouse.
Yeah, right. Yeah, back to the lighthouse.
And you know, Saoirse collapses and Ben goes in, he's like, hey, yo, where's the coat? Dad, where's the coat? I don't think we mentioned this. Dad like locked the coat like way before they got sent off. He locked the coat in this ornate, like golden chest, threw it into the ocean, and then threw away the key, which I have a lot to say about this dad later, but he did that. And then he's like, what are you fucking talking about, bro? Like, she needs to go to the hospital. So it's like there's a storm outside. He's not listening to Ben. Ben's like, she's gonna die. We gotta do something. He's like, no. We gotta go to the hospital.
To be fair, the dad has not been privy to a lot of the magic stuff that has happened so far.
No, I refuse, and we'll get to that later. I refuse.
Okay.
No. I will give that excuse to Wolfwalker dad. Not this dad. Fuck this dad. No, I refuse. They're on this shitty little rowboat in the storm, and Ben like realizes that he has to get this coat. The only way to get it is to go down to the bottom of the sea, and he has to overcome his fears of the water. It's implied that I think he's afraid of the ocean because that's how his mom died, by maybe drowning. Not clear because she's also a Selkie. I don't know why she's not around. Never explained.
Doesn't make sense why she doesn't show up till the end.
No, doesn't make sense at all. I think we're supposed to think that she was either like she died too because she wasn't using her Selkie powers. I don't know, because her hair was like white, wasn't it, at the end? Or at the beginning, I mean.
Oh, at the beginning, maybe.
Was it? Maybe. But like, I don't know. Or maybe she got turned to stone by the owls, or it never explained. But he realizes he has to overcome his fears, goes down with the help of these seals, opens up the chest, gets the coat. His dad has dived back in with him. Comes back up, puts it on Saoirse. But she's still super, super weak because she has to sing, and that's the only way that the magic's going to work. Mm-hmm. He teaches her the song that his mom taught him. And all the spirits, they stop being stone. It opens up, I think it's called like Tir na La or Tir na, I don't know. We're butchering all these Irish words, and I'm sorry for that. But it's like the fairy world in Irish folklore. So it opens up like the path to that, and all the fairy people get to go home. The giant stops being like a cliff or a rocky outcrop or something.
Yeah.
And he's cool now. They're all going. And then mom just shows up. And she's like gonna take Saoirse away with her. And they're like, no, we want her to stay. And she's like, well, she's half human, so if she wants to, she can stay. But she's not gonna be a Selkie anymore. And Saoirse's like, that's what I want. I want to do that. So they stay, and they're like, well, how about you stay too? And she's like, I can't. And then like she's like just fucks off. And like they have a happy ending, like the three. But like, what do you mean? What do you mean you can't stay? Fuck you.
Yeah, she was like, this is my one opportunity to go to the fairy spirit world. Fuck you, family.
Fuck you. Yeah, fuck that. What you know what? Deadbeat mom. Dad gets the redemption at the end for sticking around. But at the same time, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do.
that's the bare minimum of parenting, is being around.
Yeah. And he was like just there physically.
He was still dealing with fucking grief from his wife, his magic wife dying,
fucking off.
I don't know. Yeah, she walks into the water 6 years ago, like she goes away and he comes back with a baby. Like, where was she? I choose to believe she just left.
Well,
She was
and
like, wow, being a mom sucks. I want to be a fucking seal and fuck a bunch of other seals. That's what she
yeah,
was doing. She was
uh,
getting seal dick.
I think so, because like she just showed up as a seal and she was like, "Hey, good to see you guys again. I'm gonna take this kid now."
Yeah, it's like, what's up, Dad?
Thanks for raising it.
Yeah, she was she was just gonna leave. And like, I don't. The other spirits were there for so long. You know what I mean? Like, I highly doubt that this is the only way that they're going to be able to, like, they're fucking magic. You know what I mean? It's a
Yeah,
world where magic exists, and you're telling me that you couldn't just hang around. Don't have babies. Don't 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 fuck a human dude and have kids with him. Because like, why are you even doing this? Who are you here for? What are
yeah,
you doing?
and like she like kisses the husband at the end, but like, I mean, I don't think maybe she loved him for a period and then she just got over it, or maybe she was just like a thing. She was like, I'm a fucking undying spirit. I'll do whatever.
Yeah, sure. Fuck you, lady.
I
And
don't know. I don't know the logic there because she just fucks off and she's just like, yeah. And also leaves one kid that doesn't have any powers. That's shitty.
well, now neither of them have powers.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But also, why didn't Ben have any powers?
Maybe Selkies are only girls. It might have said something about that. I'm not sure.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Um, but like he's still half magic fairy lady, right?
Yeah, he should have at least been able to play the flute because every time he played the flute, nothing happened. And then he kept
No,
on.
absolutely nothing happened. He has no, even though he saves the day at the end, he sucks. He has no skill set. He's just a child.
Yeah.
Um,
With, without Ku, he would be nothing.
yeah. Without Ku, he's less than nothing.
Absolutely. This has just turned into a big old bin roast. This
But
entire podcast.
yeah, and you know what? I'm sure there's like aspects of like Irish folklore because, like we said with the Wolf Walkers, we're not very familiar with it because it's just not, at least over here in America, it's just not very well portrayed. I don't get much of it. I mean, leprechauns. That's about all I know,
Yeah.
and even
St.
even that's
Patrick
probably wrong. Yeah, and yeah, that's about it. That's all. That's all that we really get taught over here.
and the
Um,
IRA.
so I and the well, that's not folklore. um, I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, I'm sure that a lot of the things that we're bitching about for this Selkie mom, I'm sure it has some like basis in their folklore. Maybe it's like a common theme or something like that. But as someone who knows nothing about that and is coming in just watching it raw, fuck that lady.
Fuck that lady for sure.
Fuck that lady.
Fuck that lady. And now we can talk about the dad a bit. Throwing the key and the fucking chest into the ocean.
Yeah. What the fuck was that? Obviously, because he has this ornate chest, right? This is a gold encrusted chest or some shit. And there's like a magic key and all this. Obviously, he knows that there's magic, right?
Yeah, and you know, his wife was a magic being. He had to have some sort of suspicion. Like,
Because either A, she never told any of them, which fuck that lady,
fuck that
because
lady.
she left no instructions.
No, she was just like, here's a white robe. Good luck.
Because like let's like just write it down, right? Like I don't know if there's if Saoirse had to be 6 years old for her to be able to do all this stuff, but like what if she just wrote them a letter and they're like, hey, as soon as this kid's like not a baby anymore, just put this fucking thing on her real quick and just have her play this shit on the flute real quick.
And save the whole fairy world real quick.
Problem solved. Why? Yeah, just write it. Just leave a note.
And with the mom, So she was a Selkie. She could have sang the song from that place, couldn't she?
I was thinking about that the whole fucking time.
Why did she sing the song?
Why? Yeah. Why didn't she just save everybody? She has all of the like, unless maybe she doesn't have her code anymore.
No, she was a seal. At the end, she came up out of the water as a seal and then turned into a
Right.
woman.
But
And she was wearing it.
maybe was she wearing it when she left though?
Yeah, because she had the white robe, and then remember she
Okay,
had
okay, you're right.
that one hair that was flying like this.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm just trying to figure out like why should like there's no reason that she couldn't have just saved everybody.
Doesn't make sense. I mean, her daughter had to go on this journey, I guess, but did
She didn't
she?
need to have a daughter.
No, she didn't need to have kids. She just needed to sing a song, save the world, and then she wouldn't
And
have ruined this man's life.
and it's like in a lot of these kind of like stories, like they have to find the magic artifact. They have to learn the song that they need to. All of those things are already at the lighthouse.
Yeah,
The mom taught
she gathered them all.
she taught them the song. She she gave them the artifact. She exists. What is going on? Why?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. What the fuck?
Her like unless I'm missing something and there's some reason that she couldn't do it, which they don't explain. They don't explain that, and I will die on that hill. They don't explain why she can't do it. She should have just done it.
She should have. She is the worst mother ever.
Yeah, because
She was just
then
out there fucking exploring the world as a seal, not giving a fuck.
yeah, or dead, I guess. I don't know. Unclear. Maybe she got turned to stone. I don't know.
But see, all the things that got turned to stone, they didn't necessarily come back to life. Their spirits just came out of the stone, and then they went to
Yeah.
the fairy spirit world. But with the mother, she was a physical form that was like able to hold her daughter, and she didn't look
Yeah, but
ghostly.
maybe the other spirits could do that too. I don't know. They never tried.
Yeah, they never tried.
I don't know. They could have, maybe.
She looked very real. But yeah,
Yeah, no,
maybe she got.
she might have got, but like still a long, like still a 9 month pregnancy.
So maybe we're shitting on like a dead mother.
I'm fine with that.
That's
Because that doesn't erase from the fact of why didn't she still just do it right? Like,
true. Like before she
excuse
even
me,
got pregnant, like she had all the stuff.
unless, unless, unless she only just got that flute thingy, unless she literally got that like the night of, and there was just no time.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that way.
Maybe, but see, here's the shit thing about this. We are now making stuff up to explain away this plot hole, which could maybe we just missed it. Sure, we're not the most attentive people all the time, but you shouldn't have to have two fucking nerds making up reasons why your plot doesn't make sense, like to fix it.
Absolutely. I mean, I still really liked it. So overall, as a
That being
film,
that that being said, yeah, I still like this better than Wolfwalkers, which is much more consistent, I think, as
yeah.
far as the
So
plot goes.
plot wise, Wolfwalkers is more consistent, but I think this movie is more beautiful.
Yeah, it's also more fun.
Yeah, yeah, it is more fun. Wolfwalkers has some dragging bits.
It
Th-
does.
th- th-
Wolfwalkers
this
makes it's more. It feels more. The tone is a way more like sad and dour in Wolfwalkers. I think most of the time.
Yeah, I guess it is dealing with colonization, kind of. So that sucks.
Yeah, but this one's dealing. I mean, like the main focus of this one is coming to terms with your grief, right?
Yeah, but isn't every animated movie these days?
Uh,
I mean, a lot of them, just like my parent
Rat
died, a parent died.
Ratatouille.
Okay. Well, actually, Linguini, his father had just died, Gusteau.
Never
Even though
watched Ratatouille.
what? You haven't seen Ratatouille?
No, I just knew it was a movie about a rat making fucking uh Ratatouille.
Dude, it's Brad Bird.
Shrek.
He is grieving the loss of his swamp.
Fuck you.
And the whole journey is a metaphor for the grieving process. Yeah, 1 second.
It's just us now, guys. I'm just gonna whisper secrets about Kyle to you guys while he's gone. Kyle spent the first 26 years of his life in diapers. Not because he needed to, but because he liked it. Yeah. Yeah. Kyle once told me that the greatest band he's ever listened to is Creed. Yeah. 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 He prefers unsweet tea to sweet tea, not for health reasons. He just likes the taste. Yeah. Yeah. Chew on that one. Chew on that one. Kyle said that he didn't like the movie Captain Marvel because it had too many women complaining. Wow. Wow. How anti-feminist of him. Wow.
Sorry.
Hey, you're back. I was definitely just super quiet the whole time. I didn't say anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't even edit this one. Just put it in raw.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good. So is there like where are you?
Where am I?
Yeah.
I'm in my basement.
Is there someone above you?
Yeah, my parents are back home.
Oh, okay. That would
Are you
explain.
just hearing like footsteps and stuff?
I kept hearing footsteps, so I was like, what is happening there?
Yeah, there's people upstairs.
Okay, yeah, that makes
At this
sense.
point, yeah, this is the most soundproof part of the house at the moment. Because the other room I would go into does not have a door.
Oof.
Yeah.
Big oof. I think I'm gonna send you my microphone.
Okay. Is this
Uh,
one just not good? I can move this closer.
I think it'll just be better to have another one. And also, I might send you one of these cubes too.
The soundproof ones, maybe that would probably help more.
Okay, I'll just send you a cube then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try the cube first. Because I think that's like also way cheaper if in case it gets lost in the fucking mail.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the movie.
Where were we? I think we were talking about the consistency.
Oh yeah, and the animation
between the third movie and this movie.
Yes. So story wise, first one, sorry, third one technically,
Yeah.
held together much better as a story,
Mhm.
and it really wrapped up much better. The ending is much better, like just all around. The ending is phenomenal. I think in Wolfwalkers, even though
Mhm.
the implications of what will come for them.
Yeah.
uh, but I don't know. This one, I had more fun with it. It was more of a
Mhm.
ride, and I really I love seeing Koo save the day consistently.
You're frozen for me.
Oh, I'm frozen.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah. I couldn't tell when you had stopped talking just because you weren't moving
Oh, okay, yeah, no,
and you cut out for a second.
I'm done now.
I I think the animation of this one is very similar, if not like the same as the animation to the third one. And it's just like a very nice animation style. I don't know how to describe it other than unpolished. There's a lot of like lines that aren't there. And there's like spillage, you know what I mean? And it just gives it a really like nice feeling. Just
I
feels very warm.
I think it's like a water paint.
Maybe that's what it. Yeah, it could be what. Yeah, maybe it's watercolor.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Um,
Watercolor.
yeah, maybe that's what. But it looks really nice. There's very few hard lines that aren't there on purpose. Like anytime there's like a really sharp angle of something, it's on like a creepy looking character. Or like the owls all have very like angular shapes to them, but everyone else is pretty fluid and
Rounded
pretty I don't
out.
know, undefined. Yeah, rounded out and undefined, which is nice.
Yeah, the seals that they made the swimming with the seals just seem like the best fun. Like they were
Dude, I
so
would
cute where they're just swimming in like a formation. It was so cool.
I yeah, no, I'd love to swim with I can't swim, but I would love to I would love to be a seal bro.
Hell yeah. At least just ride one and like, take it from its
I don't
natural
know.
habitat and put it in a pool.
I don't know because I'm a big boy at this point. To ride a seal, it would have to be like one of those adult elephant seals or something. You know
Who
what I
could
mean? Like it would have to be a
definitely
grown
fucking
up
kill you.
seal. Yeah, even like a non-elephant seal, just like a grown-up seal, like other kinds, they have sharp teeth.
Yeah, they
The
can fuck you
carnivores.
up. They're the
Yeah,
dogs of the sea.
yeah, sea dogs. But like maybe a baby seal, just to hang.
Yeah, you get two of them strapped into your feet.
Like that that meme of Aquaman
Yeah,
with the fish on his feet or whatever.
exactly.
That could be me if I just took the plunge, literally.
You just can't let the baby seals grow up.
How cold do you think that water is that they kept diving into? Had to be freezing, right?
Ireland, so that's the Atlantic. I mean, it had to be pretty cold.
Had to be freezing. Also,
And
what time period was this movie set in? They had cars, right? So
yeah, they had cars. So I don't know, 19, 1900s, early 1900s.
I don't think it was early 1900s because that bus looked, I would say like
1960s?
70s,
No.
70s, eight. There was listening to the dude was the little kid was listening to rock music.
No, that's true. And he
He had
had
like a
headphones.
Walkman.
He had headphones.
Yeah.
That's true.
I would say like
Shit.
80s maybe, like at the latest, but although it had a very 90s feel, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Which further emphasizes why the hell are they all why do they live at a lighthouse? They're automated.
Yeah, at that point. Unless
Yeah,
Ireland was
unless he
just
just
behind.
yeah, because what does that guy do for a living?
Change the light bulb every 6 months, probably.
Yeah, no wonder everyone's unhappy.
Yeah. Just they just sit around in their grief all day.
The only all the information know about lighthouses is from the movie The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. and they did not have a good time. So that's what I imagine all lighthouse keepers are doing.
I mean, it seems like a miserable job. There was a point in my life when I was like, oh, that could be cool. But then you really think about it. And then you're like, oh, wait, it's not so cool. It's
Yeah,
very
just alone and
isolating,
cold.
alone
Yeah,
and cold. And they bring you like shipments of food like every 3 or 6 months. And that's your contact with the outside world.
yeah. Although, like I said, he just had a ferry. Like he could have just gone whenever he wanted. Like didn't seem that like it was that far off land. So he's living his life, I guess. Going
Yeah.
out to drink with his ferry buddy.
Yeah. Not fairy, but like he was a ferryman.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even think of that. Yeah. And Kyle doesn't mean fairy in the derogatory sense either. This whole time, someone who's just listening to it doesn't know anything about the movie, just thinks that we're making fun of gay people the whole time.
Just like, wow, these two are huge bigots.
They
Like,
yeah, they snuck out of the home and they just met a bunch of fairies and they started singing and dancing to them, and then the owls came.
and turned all the fairies to stone.
Like, what is this conservative nightmare?
um,
Um,
so with
I
the
really like the
voice,
water.
the water in it was very nice.
This movie's it's called Song of the Sea, and I think the water looked very, very cool. It reminded me of you watched Samurai Jack, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Remember when he's like training it's like in the first episode or whatever, when he's doing the montage
Mhm.
and he's training with the Vikings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It does
That's
look
all I
like
could
that
think of.
water. Yeah,
I like that.
it
They
definitely
do
looks like
this,
that
they
water.
did storms really well.
So I'm looking at the voice cast and I don't recognize any of these people. Oh wait, no, I recognize one of them.
Is it
Br-
Gleason?
yeah,
Right. Brendan Gleason.
Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, it's also the only one I recognized. But there are a lot of Irish names that I don't think have like I don't think they've come out of Ireland as far as like their fame goes.
Yeah,
So
no.
that's why we really don't know most of them.
And Brendan Gleeson, he was Hagrid, right? Was that
Was he?
him?
Yeah, yeah, right, yeah. Or am I thinking? No, 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 no,
Or
no.
was he Mad
It
Eye?
wasn't Hagrid. I
Was
think
he?
he was Mad Eye Moody. Yeah,
He was
he was
Mad Eye
Mad Eye
Moody.
Moody.
That's it.
I was like that. As soon as you said it, I was like that doesn't sound right, but I also could be very wrong. Um, he's been in a lot of movies. He was in Troy. I think he was like Agamemnon or something.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, no, he's a pretty prolific actor is over here, but I think he's like Irish or not Irish, English.
Wow, sacrilege.
I don't know.
An English actor performing.
Oh no, you know what? Never mind. Well, the reason I was thinking that is because I was looking at the voice cast and it's split up into English, Irish, and Scottish Gaelic. And I just assumed that it was just like in the third movie where it was like all the English people are playing English voice, all the English characters are voiced by Englishmen.
Mhm.
I assume that's what they were doing here. No, no.
Yes.
They just have different different people did different
Yeah,
translations of the movie.
which makes sense. The third one, it felt like it had more purpose for them to do that since it was a colonization story.
Yeah. Well, this I think everyone's Irish in this one, so
Yeah, so I'm just like, fuck it.
yeah,
We'll hire. Just have an accent, please.
just have an accent. I think the voice acting was mostly fine. Um, I didn't have a problem with any of the voices really.
Yeah, I think we had more complaints for this one than we did for Wolfwalkers, but
Yeah,
still enjoyed this one more.
it's weird, isn't that? It's so weird. Um, I don't know. I don't know why, because I had a lot more problems with this movie than I did with Wolfwalkers, but I liked this one significantly more. It just had a
Maybe
better like the feel of it was better in my opinion.
perhaps it's we were more invested, and so we were noticing these these details, and maybe with Wolfwalkers we became less invested. I don't know what it is, but this one was much more fun.
It was definitely a lot more fun, and I'll shit on a movie at the drop of a hat. Um,
You
but
know
this
this.
is the yeah, this is a known thing. I just didn't have the same visceral reaction. I think it's because in Wolfwalkers, it was very um like the dad, the things he was trying to do and the things he was like trying to have his daughter do, all incredibly reasonable. These were just like good parenting things that he was doing for the most part, because A, no idea that magic's real. B, he has a very precarious position. And C, he hunts wolves, very dangerous. Like it's just like he's just telling her to stay home because he doesn't want her to die. In this one, mom's magic, and she just fucks off without giving anyone any written directions of what to do. So fuck her. Dad either knows or suspects that there's magic involved and just doesn't do anything about it, just ignores it. Um, and he's just like a dick. He's he's dealing with his own thing at the detriment of his children. So like nothing he really does is reasonable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I mean our main complaints come from the parenting, you know?
Yeah.
Just like be a good parent and don't be
Yeah.
distant and don't bail on your kids.
The mom, like when grandma comes in and she's like, "Is this girl still not know how to talk yet?" And the dad's just like, "Well, the doctor said she'll learn at her own pace." All I was thinking at that time was like, "No, dog. Like, I don't know what doctor said that to you, but at 6 years old, this child should be speaking. Like, either A, they should be speaking, or B, you just like they're just mute. Like, it's not an either or situation. Like either they literally can't speak because they're mute, or there's something severely wrong here that she's not learning language, because she seems to understand language."
Yeah, there's either medically or some trauma.
Yeah, which makes me think he probably didn't go to a doctor.
That's probably true. It's like his first time he wants to take her to a doctor is when she's on death's bed.
Yeah, I like. I'm sure he's not that. I'm sure fictional Connor, whatever his name is, not that bad of a guy, but like we're really painting him as the worst father ever.
Yeah, he cared about his kids for sure. He
Yeah.
loved his kids, cared about them. He was just distant because he was very sad about losing his fairy wife. But I think maybe she might have had a spell on him too, because after she leaves, he's like, suddenly I feel that I have been distant from you, and I'm very sorry. And it's just like as soon as the wife, I mean, maybe that's just closure, but as soon as she's gone, he is different towards his kids.
You mean that like at the end?
Yeah, at the end,
I
he's
think I think that's just implied that he's just over it. Like he's finally like dealt with it, rather than just because there's like a throwaway line at the beginning where the grandma's like, you can't keep just like thinking about her all the time, and he's just like, well, it's only once a year. So I think he
yeah,
like just bottles it up and then just kind of like sits on it, and then once a year he just like goes and has himself like a
a
sad Guinness.
yeah, very sad Guinness. He drinks half of it, fills the rest with his tears.
Not even half of it. He drank like that much. Honestly, the biggest insult to Irish culture is that is how much of that Guinness was left. No.
Oh my god. uh,
I do love that how very clearly that was a Guinness.
yeah, it's very dark
I think one of the most recognizable beers in the world. Like
for
the
sure.
glass, the consistency, like you're like, yeah, that's Guinness.
That's fucking Guinness. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, usually it's just a yellow piss looking thing on in animations, but
Yeah, but they wanted the dad, not to have everything going wrong for him. So they were like, let's at least give him a good beer.
true. True. That one thing once a year.
Once that's his consolation.
So overall, what would you give this movie?
Out of I don't know, out of 10 for like a children's movie, I don't know, like an 8. I think it has all the parts, and as a child, you're not thinking about a lot of this stuff critically like we are. So if I was of the age that this movie was probably made for people, I think I'd love it. And I like it now. So I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 7. I liked it
That's
a
fair.
lot. I liked it a lot. I think there were a bit too many questions with the story. That's why it took a bit of a hit, but nonetheless, it still is more memorable to me than Wolfwalkers was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it makes me wonder, like, because there's a first movie that we haven't watched yet. Secret of Kells, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we'll like that the one, like if we'll like that the best.
Yeah. I wonder if this animation company just came out swinging and went downhill from there.
Maybe. No, because Wolfwalkers, I think it was nominated and maybe won quite a bit of awards. This
Oh
one,
yeah.
I think this one like lost to Up, which is a good movie to lose to.
Yeah, that's hard competition.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, like if you're up against Up, like Up's a good movie.
Yeah, you fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked. The first 6 minutes of Up is like the worst love story, the worst, most tragic love story in cinematic history.
I remember I saw it in high school with it was a bunch of girls and a bunch of dudes. It was a nice mix, but like a lot of the group was crying in the first 10 minutes. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. Pixar knows what they're doing. Like
And
they know how
Kyle
to
was
pull
just
those
not. He
heartstrings.
felt nothing.
I was like, yes. Yes.
Good. I'm glad she's dead.
Glad they couldn't have kids.
Yeah, man. What a roller coaster that fucking montage of that marriage wasn't Up.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, that's so cute and amazing. And then, oh, they can't have kids, but they're okay with it. Oh, she's dead. Oh, they spend their
She's
entire life working and she's dead.
she's dead, and they've got nothing to show for it. And that's the movie that this one I think lost to. So like, you know what? Good for you. Good for you. Song of the Sea. You were up against a very big heavy hitter.
Very big. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it here. This has been another episode of That Cartoon Podcast. Bye bye.
Bye 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 bye.